Mr. Bear.
I love having a camera right in my face.
I figured you
in the morning.
Figured you might. So I realized I forgot to talk about what we're doing today. So we're taking a field trip out to 20sqfab to go hang out with Larry Casey. We're gonna do some final modifications, hopefully final modifications to the rear spoiler. I can barely weld, and I certainly can't weld aluminum. And the whole rear spoiler is made from aluminum. So we're gonna head to Larry. He's gonna fire up the old TIG machine. We'll probably redesign the spoiler again, because that's what happens every time. But I want to take a moment, give you guys a tour of what Larry's got going on. You can see one, maybe more of his projects. We'll do a little bit more work on the Camaro and have a nice little Sunday. Anyway, let's get to Larry. Where the street races last night were. Gotta love a good burnout pad. Out here on the road, my destination is redemption. Out here on the road, we've all lost someone. I ride alone out in the wasteland. Oh, and there's the Bear's Corvette. All right, here we are at 20sqfab. Let's find a Lair Bear. All right, so I'm hanging out with Larry Casey of 20sqfab, and I just kind of wanted to have you show us a couple things that you've done in this space. It's a 2-car garage, and you do a lot of fabrication in here. You really maximize the space. So if you can kind of show us a few things that you put together that really help you work and that other people can use in their spaces.
Sure. I think that the most versatile thing that I've done in this garage has been this extension table. And, you know, I have this great bench to work on, but when I have people come in with special projects,
oh no, fuck that heat up.
Where, you know, it's just wider or deeper than this table, I needed to have something like this. So I made this table. And it does take a pretty big chunk of my garage, so I made it fold. And it also slides around. So, come up here, push this up like this. And this table will slide along the entire way. The top on this table is a Certiflat, so it comes as a kit. You just weld it together. It's all flat box. It takes 10 minutes to put it together. All in all, I think this weighs like 150 pounds. I can sit on it.
Sit on it, Ralph.
Say, how much, have you tested how much weight it'll hold?
I can stand on it, and it doesn't move.
And you're like, what, 160?
Oh yeah, just exactly 160 pounds. So,
nice.
But yeah, and I can stand on the outer too, which is pretty substantial.
Nice. And that's grounded to your workbench too, right? So it's all one. When you're welding, it's all one piece, or?
There is metal connection there, but I do always clamp to the table because you want to be as close to the source as possible. When it comes to saving space, you know, getting everything off the floor, you know, there's a lot of storage underneath, a lot of storage overhead.
So actually, tell me about the overhead storage real fast, because I know that's something you built in-house here.
Yeah, it's way overbuilt.
You don't say.
No, there's about a quarter of an MR2 up there, but it's way overbuilt. And there's probably about 1,000 pounds combined on all of it right now. And there is about a 1/16 of an inch of deflection in the middle of this one.
So what size steel is all that?
It's 16 gauge 2x2s with 16 gauge 1x2s as cross members.
Awesome. And I know there are plans for some sort of hoist or a crane or...
A jib crane is in the future, so that for the other project, which we'll show you later, for putting an engine in and pulling the engine out. So other than that, I try to make things, stack things high. So, lots of storage space, the cabinets down below, and just, try to take advantage of, floor to ceiling as much as possible. And then, one thing that's really critical when you're working in a tight space like this, welding and, cutting, all those things produce gases. So I have a air purifier. This one's actually made by Century Air, and it's good for about 2,000 square feet. So it's way overbuilt.
And we're how many square feet here again?
Just around 800. Yeah, 800. So that's not, it's good to be overbuilt. And then for storage, there's some racking on that side, as well as some rack above the garage door for materials, which I just finished a bigger project recently, and that depleted about half of my inventory.
The important part, the air conditioning up on the wall?
Yep. The AC is amazing. It's 95 degrees outside, and I'm in here at 62 degrees. Not a drop of sweat. So definitely AC was worth it after waiting 14 years.
So that's the half of the garage you can stand in.
Yep.
The other half of the garage is this thing.
Yeah.
And you want to tell me a little bit about your jungle gym?
Yeah. So this is a 93 MR2. Last year I ran in SSM in a 91 MR2 turbo, 400 and some horsepower, and thought that it's a great platform, and so I'm taking advantage of it. So this one's going to be a little bit different.
LS swap?
Never. No, this will be it's a K24 swap though.
Okay.
So K24 turbo shooting around 700 horsepower, and so time attack, time trials, regionally, as well as, as far as I can expand to.
And then go out, get ice cream in it too.
Yeah, so yeah, the idea is that this will be still street legal, but yet try to stay away from driving on the street on it, because it's going to have a full halo seat and all that. Yeah, Piper Motorsports did everything inside the car, because I don't want to be responsible for my own life. And also, if I have...
it's like the most 2020 thing ever, but...
Yeah. But Sam Strano and some other people are going to be helping to get the car set up. And, I want to make sure that they're safe as well. So expanding on that, I went a little bit further, and, I like the suspension to do suspension things. So a little bit more cage work was added in the front to give me the strut tower bracing that I want. And some may say it's too much and that it's a lot of extra weight.
I didn't say that.
Paul Shaforsky actually said that. But, I would... There are plans for the front of this car that will be in the next revision, and that this is a provision for. Other than that, Paul was gracious enough to come over and help me for 3 days to remove the undercoating.
I'm going to show all the awful handiwork.
And, finally, to transport the thing around, I made a special cart for it that, when fully disassembled, it rolls on its own, and you can shove it into a corner. So something that, we may even take to the track. Yeah, the next step is to finish up a little bit of the roll cage work in the back of the car for strut tower bracing, as well as some chassis mods that will help stiffen the existing chassis. Then it goes to get sandblasted, and after sandblasting, it comes back and it's painted.
Harbor Freight orange.
No, I'm thinking Paul Gray.
Okay, Paul Gray's a good color.
Paul Gray, and then from that, and then I've heard of somebody that he's been really working hard at making some carbon fiber T-tops. So I'm gonna see if I can challenge him to go a next level.
Yeah,
and basically, I'm gonna convert this into a hardtop.
I do have a T-top guy, so
awesome. So yeah, this is gonna be hardtop. Whether it's carbon fiber or not, it's gonna be hardtop. There is a little bit of custom work in the front here that needs to happen for allowing air behind the tire, as well as fender flaring, because the rear will have 335s and the fronts will be 295s on the front. That's about it. You know,
Nice little project.
Yeah, dry sump, K24 with a SQS, dog box gears, and
So faster or slower than a factory 5 Cobra?
this is gonna crush my Cobra. This is gonna be considerably faster than my Cobra.
Yeah, I can imagine. What do you think the overall weight's going to be when you're done?
I think it's gonna be in the low 2s, around low 2,000 pounds. As it sits right now, even with the extra weight that Paul didn't want me to put on the front of the car, we're around 760.
Not a bad little project. I'm excited to help out on this more than just scraping undercoating from underneath. Not that I didn't have a blast doing that, but... Well, thanks, Larry. What a lovely little tour.
You're welcome. Sure.
Finished up at Larry's yesterday. I figured I'd show you guys what he was actually welding on. And so it's this. So what Larry did for me is we welded these tabs on the back side of these end plates. And the idea here, let me grab a piece. The idea here is that the spoiler end plates, which are not trimmed yet, will be captured on the back side by that tab. So if there's a little bit of space, you won't see it. If there's a gap due to a change in angle, you won't see it. And also with the air pushing on this piece, it'll just help support it from the back.
I'm just testing. Oh, what's that blue dot?